donation.
Yeah,
and it's really low. Like a lot of times it's like free, $5.
Yeah,
like,
that's why it takes years and years to write books.
Exactly.
It takes years.
Yeah, like
So,
that, and that's
like,
the thing. At this rate, I could write a novella. In a month.
Everyone imagines...
The first draft.
Yeah,
of course,
everyone imagines writing as what they do in movies and TV shows, where it's someone they sit down and they write 20, 30 pages a day.
Yeah.
And if that was true, it would take you a month to write like a 500-page book.
Yeah.
So Stephen King will have 6 books a year.
Yeah, and that's even the thing is Stephen King, as high of a volume that he does, is still only like, 10, 12 pages a day? Like, it's not a crazy amount. Like, it's nothing...
Yeah, and
it's not out of reach.
And I think with Stephen King, too, like, the thing to consider with Stephen King when it comes to your writing is that... Look, we're talking here... side note, this is Dream Warrior 76. We're talking Mute on Netflix. Let's just hit that music real quick. Yeah, so we're talking Chris, the writer's here.
Yes.
I only have my headphones on. Let me hear them. Chris, can I hear you?
Absolutely.
You sound good,
can.
buddy. We got the headphones on.
Good
so Chris and I are just waxing intellectual about writing, and so like, what's the Stephen King page rate that you were saying?
If you can Google it to check me.
Yeah, but
I believe it was under 10 pages. I think it was like 10, 12 pages a day, something like that. It's nothing crazy. I know that there's a lot of, like, Hemingway was only a couple page a day type guy.
Yeah, which is crazy because we were just kind of discussing that you envision writers cranking out just reams of paper every single day, and so it's great. So like the point I was about to make when I just decided to make this the intro, and we're going to just go with it, is, Stephen King is at a level where he has been writing for so long that he can work on like multiple books at one time and multiple projects, to where like his rollout when it comes to his novels and his TV productions and the stuff he does for the movies, where he can toggle between the two because he has like 30 plus years of material, and he might have a book that's a quarter done that he can work on. He might have a book that's just about done, and this is just how there's like this regular machine.
Flow. Yeah, that's the thing, and that's where
it takes a lot of
personally,
time.
I've been like flexing that muscle, personally practicing multiple, just picking up as much pages as I can.
So getting into a little bit personal. So I've been trying to work with Chris, trying to nurture Chris, trying to coach Chris on really just unlocking his interest in literature and writing, and not saying that the end game is for Chris to become a best-selling author, but it's to see where the writing goes, to see if plan A develops into a plan B, meaning that the discipline of writing regularly and the fear that it breaks down and shatters within you because now there's less inhibition on pursuing what you want to do because you're not afraid of what people think. Then once you break that barrier, it can lead to other things, may not exactly lead to writing because there's other factors in that, but it can definitely improve your outlook and your regular practices, and it can give you a key to other doors, especially doors in your mind that you just view as impossible from time to time. And
it definitely already has. I would say that first and foremost, that with confidence level, that it's raised that first and foremost. Yeah. And plus, not only that, but having a good schedule, adhering to a strict regimen, gets me creative. In terms of it's like a religion as opposed to, you know what I mean? It's practice. Well, practice makes perfect.
The discipline will unlock endless things.
Exactly.
Any discipline will unlock endless things, and that's why you should be aggressive about developing discipline, having disciplines, like a practice to be disciplined about. But
no matter what I say I'll do, I'll accomplish it, and that's my thing. Like, because I have a goal. I have a goal in my head that I'll say to you.
Yeah.
It's been a 2-page a day goal, which I got from Tim Ferriss's, popular guy.
Tim Ferriss, Tools for Titans.
Tools for Titans, 4-hour work week, etc.
Mentor of Tribes.
Mentor of Tribes.
This is new one.
Yes, this is his newest one.
Amazing podcast, amazing YouTube presence.
Great guy. Great motivational speaker.
Nothing but uplifting.
Angel investor,
and get it going. Okay? Yeah. So, but continue.
Oh, but so anyway.
So we had to tell people who Tim Ferriss were, because, you might be tuning in for Netflix, Mute, because that's on our title.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, but you might be tuning in for movies, streaming, TV. You might be streaming in to subscribe and comment and get me on Twitter, AKAPAD. Chris, what is your IG?
It's Doc Watso.
The Doc Watso. Okay, so you're going to be doing all of this stuff, but we're here now talking writing, improvement, discipline. We're rolling in Tim Ferriss. We are into getting
the productivity,
better and doing things and being productive,
improving
doing products.
Yeah.
Side note, look at timestamp. It's Sunday. What is the date? It is February
25th.
25th.
Okay.
It's 5:56 p.m. Chris and I have already shot 2 episodes of Bad Eats. We did 1 episode of Dream Warriors. We sat down. We talked about his writing. We talked about social media strategy. We've already jammed so much into today that is crazy when I even think about it. We're sitting down doing another episode of Dream Warriors, and it's only 6:00 p.m. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we had a 45-minute conversation with someone
on the phone.
Potentially could be the next camera girl for Dream Warriors. But then again, as soon as we were done talking to her, I called someone else. So we have 2 potentials, which are one is truly enthusiastic.
There's always other options.
And the other one potentially could be fake enthusiastic.
There's always other options.
You know what the funny thing is? I'm stealing all of your thunder away, Chris. I do apologize. Is that, again, it's a rubber that hits the road. Everyone tells me they want to be a part of Dream Warriors. They want to be a part of Pete Show. They want to be a part of Bad Eats. All available on YouTube and iTunes. And
Stitcher.
Yeah, Stitcher.
Stitcher.
Yeah,
everything else.
Google Play Music, SoundCloud. But
SoundCloud,
so the funny thing though is they will tell me these things. They will even suggest ideas and this and that. And when it comes to like, hey, it's time, let's do it. You got like blah 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 blah. It's like boom, can't do it, never can do it, never wanted to do it because people definitely. They see productive people. They echo. They try and duplicate. They think they can be productive. They think they can be like you, and they think they can just attach onto you, and they become you, and it's not. It's an internal process to be 24/7, hashtag nonstop, hashtag endless, and to crank it out. If you want to see it, you want to know it, follow me on Instagram, AKAPAD. It is a endless stream of discipline, creativity, imagination,
just
big ideas.
Constant content,
and that's what we're doing. So here, real quick, Chris, did you have anything to finish with your writing? Anything to say? Because I did cut you off, or you want to jump right into?
I forget where you even cut me off.
No big deal.
So that's all right.
Jump into the movie.
We'll jump into the movie. But wait. I do have to say.
Chris has to say something.
Never mind. I forget.
Chris, what are you drinking over there?
A Labatt Blue tall boy, and what do you got over there?
I got me some Long Island iced tea.
Cheers! In a Jim Henson mug.
Jim Henson exhibition from the Sound and Motion Museum in Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn. Shout out to my boy John, who I went there with. FYI.
Nice.
If you want to see an entire photo album, maybe like 90 plus pictures of this exhibit, find me on Facebook. PETERADELUCA or AKAPAD on Facebook, and you will see a giant photo album of the Jim Henson exhibit. Okay? It's incredible. Nice. It's mind blowing, like totally mind blowing. But yeah, so.
Nice.
So that Long Island, it feels good once it hits the vocality chords. The vocal chords. Okay.
I promised my wife I wouldn't drink tonight.
So Chris and I sat down. We were going to do 2 movies today. The Ritual on Netflix. The latest episode
75.
75. Check it out.
Check it out.
76. We were talking mute. We are not talking mute. Chris watched this movie. He tried to rewatch it with me.
I tried to rewatch it with this guy.
I shut this movie down.
Shut it down. He told me that's enough. That's enough of this garbage.
This movie is trash. Ugh. So 2 contentions with a Netflix mute. 1, don't watch it. No need to. Number 2, Duncan Jones is the most overrated director today.
Yeah.
Moon, I could not finish watching.
Go watch Moon if you have to. If not, if that doesn't spark your interest, give it up. You just don't even try.
Moon, I 100% saw the hook coming. I lost interest as soon as I saw the hook. Source code comes out. Okay, I saw it one time. I'm happy with it. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Warcraft. Oh my God. Amazing visual effects, amazing potential.
But it's a game turned movie.
Had moments.
There's no creativity there.
It could have been that movie could have been so much broader because Warcraft evolved on a mythology sense, similar to Warhammer 40K, where they were essentially like one was online multiplayer game, Okay,
Yeah.
but the other one was a tabletop turn-based military strategy game. Okay, Warhammer. Warhammer evolved into probably, I will say this is a stretch. No, it's not a stretch. It's almost a fact. Warhammer 40K evolved into the most prolific, complex, fun fiction mythology ever. Mm-hmm. Okay, the backstory and the story of Warhammer 40K is potentially the greatest ever. Okay, they're 44 or 45 books long into that series. Mm-hmm. 45 books, and they have a rich mythology that evolved off of a tabletop game. Okay, Warhammer or Warcraft, very similar to where it developed its own mythology outside the game. The movie itself had a wealth of material you could mine, directions you could take. He botched that movie. That movie only made money in China. So now he makes this movie. He makes a movie called Mute that I'm immediately mentally checked out of because the character doesn't talk.
The protagonist is a mute. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even get into it. But look, Chris saw this movie. I watched about 15, 20 minutes of it. I had enough. Okay. The blue-haired girl definitely could have been way more attractive too.
Yeah, first of all,
I really
she was
didn't like her even too much. I wasn't even into her. Oh, Chris's phone's vibrating. You got a phone call. You want to take that? No. Chris is throwing his phone. He don't care. He wants to do Dream Warriors. He don't care about what's happening.
I'm busy, people. Come on.
He's a busy boo.
They know that the business hours are 9 to 5, and I answer when I want to.
Hey, wait a minute. The business hours or the business hours?
Business.
That's what we're doing. Yeah, and look, I don't care if this episode ends right now, but Chris is just going to break down the movie for us real quick.
I'll break it down. Well, basically, we come into it, and it has in terms of cinematically, graphically, or visually, I would say
visually, it's there.
It's there in
very
terms
expensive
of
looking
very
movie too.
Fifth Element, very
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
I would say even recently, very Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, even Minority Report.
Yeah. Very Sylvester Stallone, Judge Dredd. Very Star Wars Episode 1 with flying cars and neon signs and giant tall buildings. So, yeah. So I know you made references to kind of like the plot, and you explained the plot to me. Yeah. And there's nothing interesting about the plot that places it in the future.
No, that's a big hang up for me.
Point.
Is that they're
talking Mute from Netflix?
Yeah, talking Mute from Netflix. There's no point in it being in the future. It could just as well be in the 50s, 60s with regular cars, with the invention of the automotive industry and whatnot. There's no reason to have it, which is technically 30 years in the future, but. And
there's nothing. So a part.
It's inaccurate.
Yeah. So a part of this revelation came from. I stopped this and I said, "Yo, let's watch a movie just like this, but 100 times better." We started watching Ghost in the Shell.
Yes.
With ScarJo.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, nurse.
No, over here, ScarJo. Okay, so we're watching ScarJo. Oh, Chris is doing some action in the front action. He's really doing that.
Oh no!
Zip it up.
Sorry, people.
Zip it up and get out. But okay.
Yeah, so anyway,
dude, we started watching Ghost in the Shell. We were immediately in the movie. Mm-hmm. I've been animatedly. I have been so into this movie. I love Ghost in the Shell. I think it's so good. I think it's largely overlooked. I think it's a part of the fall of criticism. People have not constructively looked at this movie. They don't appreciate it. On and on. Dude, within a few minutes of watching Ghost in the Shell, like I'm saying to you, because of the cybernetics and the implants, and this where the future is in this movie and where humanity is, meaning that there was a cybernetic surgery, a cybernetic installation future that this movie is based on. Shout out to Police Sirens. Okay.
Again.
Yeah, again. Yeah, so Ghost in the Shell is a futuristic movie that can only take place in a future timeline because the tech largely drives the plot. It's a very RoboCop storyline.
Yes.
But again, it's like RoboCop cannot exist as a Western. RoboCop needs to exist in the future where they can swap a brain into a robot's body.
Yes.
Ghost in the Shell falls into that scenario. This Mute movie is I think doesn't carry over because the story can exist in any era.
Yeah.
There's nothing individual to why it's in the future other than someone wanting to fluff their feathers and make a futuristic looking movie and measure it in Blade Runner. I just think like this dude, Duncan Jones, is definitely inspired by Blade Runner. But anyway, so Chris, continue.
So anyway, very early on, Paul Rudd is
Paul Rudd's the villain.
He's the villain. And let me say this, takes you right out of the movie with this handlebar mustache. Even if it wasn't Paul Rudd, I couldn't take a villain seriously if he had a big old handlebar mustache that leads into his mutton chop. He's I can't deal with the sideburns. Too much. It's too much for me.
He's literally Paul Rudd in the movie, not playing mean or not playing anything. He's like a more like dick version of Paul Rudd.
Yeah, just a dick version of Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
It's almost, but even in that aspect, you don't get that. I never at once in this movie hated the guy.
Yeah, and
which you should, because he. Well, no, but actually, too, what you missed out on, is that later on in the movie they realize. I mean, without going through the whole movie. His partner, his friend, partner, surgeon partner,
right,
if you will.
The guy,
the guy who looks like Liam Gallagher from Oasis.
Yes.
Which takes you right out of the movie as well. But
probably unintentional.
Unintentional, but he's got the round ass glasses, the blonde, long flowing hair.
Yeah.
And he is his partner, but he ends up being a pervert. He ends up being a pedophile.
Yeah, and this, you were saying, this becomes a Lolita
type story. Towards the end, basically,
it's just like, what are we doing here?
What's his name? The main character, the mute, which doesn't really matter that he's mute or not. He could have had the option to speak. I call it a good cop out of a reason to not write in the protagonist lines. So basically, you're cutting the script in half.
Yeah,
and I think it's fucking lazy.
Yeah, I think if your idea is having a protagonist as mute, he's not talking. Okay,
no.
You need other elements and you need other characters to pull him along, and he cannot be a focus of the movie.
No,
because it's hard for the camera to be on him because the camera is on him and you're expecting him to speak and he's not speaking.
He doesn't. Yeah.
And he's running around with a notepad, drawing pictures of people and doing things, and none of it seems like real and authentic. And look, it's Skarsgård. Like, this dude is chiseled. He's chiseled. The movie opens with him shirtless, swimming. Yeah, listen. He looks good.
Would I do him?
Yeah, Chris definitely would be all about that action in the action.
In any section. The back, the front,
the head,
left, right,
the kneecaps, the hamies,
the hammers.
Yeah, but no. So yeah, and like this guy looks so good on film. He looks so good on camera.
Yeah.
That you want him to talk, and he's not talking. And then
it reminded me a lot of Drive in that aspect, and I know you like Drive a lot, but that disappointed me. The part that disappointed me with Drive was that he was so unvocal. He was not vocal, and it almost seemed like he was playing half a retard.
Yeah, he did, but at the same time though, like he still. Look, he still was vocal. He's like
he spoke, and they didn't.
It's a lot like Road
I think
Warrior,
it cut into.
Like
I think it cut into the
Mad Max and the Clint Eastwood, the main with like no name. Like this is a type of character that they plug into other genres.
Yeah.
In this case, I'm sorry, like the guy needed to talk. He could talk less, but he needs to talk because he has a girlfriend and he's supposed to be in love.
Because he's trying to interrogate people almost, and he's writing notes. It's like, wait, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth, and he's like, where is she?
Wow.
There you go. Yeah. No, I swear. Yeah, and then he'll write a name and put it in front of a camera so they can read that instead of.
We can't have that.
No, I think it's silly.
We can't have it.
I think it's silly. So anyway, getting back to the pervert part. This guy's a pervert.
I like where this is going.
Yeah, yo. This guy comes in. He's a pervert.
Like Paul Rudd's friend.
Paul Rudd's friend and brother in arms because they were both of the 124th Airborne whatever division.
Yeah, but you never buy Paul Rudd in any type of military.
In any type of military, so what
scenario or role, yeah.
So by the end of the movie, Mr. Mute kills Paul Rudd because Paul Rudd killed his girlfriend, who was his ex, who was his baby mama. Paul Rudd's ex-baby mama.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
So you follow me at this point. So then, after that, what's his name? The mute guy grabs his, at that point, dead girlfriend and brings her outside and out to under a tree. And in the nighttime is morning.
That too. That's even weird.
It's real weird. Yeah. It gets really weird. You missed out on the weirdness of it because we would both be like, be flexing on the weirdness. And what we got to that point, and he was like, like crying over this blue-haired girl. It felt like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And then the Liam Gallagher character comes out, and he's like, oh. You and I got to talk or something along those lines, and kicks him in the face, knocks him out. So, gives him some sedative, takes him, and, obviously the other girl, the blue-haired girl is dead at this point.
The blue.
That always sounds
dead. Like a name for a good movie, though.
The blue-haired girl?
Like blue-haired girl.
I got to agree with you.
Yeah. Better than this name. No, that's just, yeah.
So anyhow, so they end up driving to this bridge. And it leads you to believe that the Liam Gallagher, who is has been found out at this point is a pervert, is a pedophile, is going to drop the mute off at the bridge, make him look like a suicide, dump him off the side of the bridge, and then go and live his life like the whole Lolita type situation where he goes back with his former partner in arms.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He has his girlfriend as his little girl.
This is like a definite a character-driven piece.
Yeah.
It's definitely a plot-driven movie,
yeah.
which I'm not knocking it for, but
it didn't get into the plot until late in.
Yeah. Because again,
that's the issue.
I needed this movie to hit a gear to pull me in. Yeah. It doesn't do that. I think the issues are something that exist on a script level.
And that's where my issue, like I only got hooked in the end of it, was because I wanted to see how they would end it. If they would end it with this pervert being the winner and end up taking the girl, which is what I kind of expected as a big old M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong twist.
And here's the funny thing too. Like I think it's somewhat lazy to go the pervert route unless the guy being a pervert is a part of a true plot device, like something like a bigger mechanism that drives all the characters. Because when you make a character a pervert, he can only be a villain. He can only be nefarious. He can only be the devil. Okay. But the weird thing, though, is I think any pervert that is in the future, like as a character, or in the past, like
the past you can't
Rome,
villainize.
Yeah, but even like in ancient Rome or like Egypt, where these things were prevalent and accepted, we view sexuality as evolving into the future. Okay, it's weird when you have a character in the future being a pervert and expecting the same type of read and reaction of that character as if they existed today. Like, like the guy would have to be different to be as
a pervert. Yeah, it wouldn't be as absurd for him to obsess on this younger girl.
I really think in the future, when it comes to like where everything is headed, meaning that like I'm not promoting it, I'm not doing anything, but I'm just saying like this thing that would be less frowned upon in the future when it comes to. Like it's what you would consider underage sex, and I know that's like somewhat of an undefined point, but I don't buy it. I'm just saying I don't buy it when a character that exists in the future is a pedophile or even a pervert.
Because who's to say his perversions of the future are to be
society
perversions.
Has evolved into a point. So a lot of times when you do a science fiction movie,
I'm sorry, look at 30, 40 years ago, Led Zeppelin. The Rolling Stones, they were banging girls that were 16, 15 years old. No problem. No issues with the social norm. So that's where
and that's what I mean. Like it's hard to really like put that in there as a device to control the emotion of the audience and to signal to the audience that this guy is bad, like to look out for him. I think when you deal with the future, there's so many other cool things to jump into. issue. Like, dude, like we're watching Ghost in the Shell, and they're like arguing in the beginning of that movie about like countries adopting cybernetics. And what they're doing for their people with cybernetics.
There pulls me right
and you're
in.
like, yo, that's so cool. Like,
so cool.
Of course it would be conversations like
view,
that. Of course it would, like, it just would be a thing.
And you start to think, what side do I lay on? Yeah. Like, where does, because I like that.
He can cybernetically enhance one part of my body.
Hey y'all. Well, that's what I like. I like the movies that will blur the lines. You know what I mean? That will scrape that. There's that gray area in between. Yeah, and that's what I like.
Ghost in the Shell opens and they're literally jacking into people's minds and downloading their thoughts and their memories and their dreams and collecting them to a giant database that the villain's hooked into.
And was already
you're like shit. You're like, yo, like Ghost in the Shell's like already. Dude, awesome action sequence, like with her in that camera, like the Predator.
Yeah,
like she's like running through the glass, and like you see her, the silhouette, and it's like shattering around her, and you're like, "Yo, the future's lit."
Yeah,
like this future is all of the lights, Kanye West. Like we're doing that. So like I don't know, like, and I was happy we were able to compare and contrast effective sci-fi versus non-effective sci-fi.
I agree, and also too, and I want to say because you didn't get to this point in the movie, just to kind of get back to a certain point in the movie.
We're going to start to wrap this up real quick, so I'm going to just leave it to you to finish it up. Okay.
Okay.
So go.
All right. So in terms of the end of the not the end of the movie necessarily, the aspect of the movie that give me a second. You put the pressure. You put the pressure on me.
Well, okay.
No, no. I got it. In terms of it bothered me.
Wheels.
No, what bothered me, and you might have I want your feedback from it. Is the fact that the guy Paul Rudd's character finds out that the other guy is a pervert, and him having a younger daughter. Was an issue for him. Right. Now, him being the villain in the movie, all of a sudden he becomes some worshipable character. He has a conscience, and even though he's willing to kill his ex-wife, who was technically going to take away his daughter, which poses a whole nother argument. Like who's the wrong person there?
It's never authentic. I think a lot of times when villains magically gain a conscience, especially when you see them like operating on criminals, like that's his intro into the movie.
He gets to the point where he finds out and he checks and he sees that he's filming because this guy is a like a pediatric type surgeon for people with what's it called? Being cut off limbs. You know what I mean? Amputees. So he ends up, he's filming like young children getting dressed, this, that, the third. And so, the Paul Rudd character finally takes control and is like, if you ever do this again, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to watch you, this, that, the third. You don't ever touch my kid or don't come near my kid. But then towards the end of the movie, the Paul Rudd character is beat up and is about to die because of the mute, and the Liam Gallagher type character comes down to him and is like, he's like, you know what? I don't think that the cops that we're gonna be able to make you out of this situation. I don't think you're gonna live. And he's like, you know what? I have your daughter, and he turns the camera, he turns his monitor to his daughter.
Wow.
So it's his daughter's room, and he goes to go up and do whatnot. It's like, who's the villain at that point? It's the pedophile, but
right. So so you're not vested.
Suddenly you don't feel bad for Paul Rudd, who just got sliced up rightfully so for killing his ex.
Yeah. So and look, it just seems like it's a college movie. Look, if anyone out there wants me to go through it, I'll finish watching it. Tweet me at AKAPAD. If not, we're going to let this dead dog lie. We're going to say, if you're going to watch anything on Netflix, watch Ritual. Don't watch Mute. Don't watch any movie by Duncan Jones. He is
he sucks. He's terrible. He's terrible. Yeah, that's all I'll say.
He's one of the only filmmakers I'll say that his films that I just don't really feel like they are conceived well, and I think a lot of the platitudes he uses when it comes to the context of sci-fi and fantasy are sloppy. So moving on.
I think if you're going to waste your time, I think if you're going to waste your time, not waste your time. I think if you're going to use your time, there's better sci-fi movies to utilize that time with.
Okay.
And follow me on Instagram at Doc Watso, DOCWATSO.
The Doc Watso.
And Facebook.
Yeah.
Christopher Watson.
Christopher Watson.
Yeah.
So real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, hold up. we're gonna do something real quick before.
Okay. I thought we were signing out. That's my bad.
We were no. I just got this idea
Okay.
because I'm waiting. I'm waiting till we hit the 30-minute mark on this. Okay. Right.
I can't believe we didn't hit 30 minutes.
30-second story. Go.
Give me a prompt. Go.
No.
Okay. Wait. All right. So there's one time that we. Shit. Damn it. We were out with Kearns.
Come on. We got 20 seconds.
We were Kearns. We got arrested for arrested for drinking at the mall underage.
Drinking at the mall underage.
By the Boscas, and they got us. Kearns was a pussy.
The P word.
I know. You put me under the.
Next time, better 30-second story.